The political temperature in Nigeria's opposition party, the Labour Party, is rising as the Julius Abure-led National Working Committee has issued a stern warning to Abia State Governor Alex Otti, his deputy Ikechukwu Emetu, and key loyalist, the former presidential candidate Peter Obi. The message: back off from organizing a parallel national convention. The Nenadi Usman-led faction, reportedly backed by Otti and others, is nominated, as announced, plans to hold a national convention on February 28, 2026.
Well, a move the Abure camp has branded illegal and futile. But what does this actually mean for the future of Labour Party? And is the Labour Party still a power force, if you want to put it that way? This morning, we do have one who is now the National Vice Chairman, Southwest of the Labour Party. Mr. Abayomi Arabambi joins us this morning, all the way from Ogun State. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast Central.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's look at the drama that's still surrounding Labour. First of all, it's been a long time since Labour Party, or in quotes, the obedient, have spoken about the Labour Party. Is the Labour Party still active, as it were, using the Gen Z language? Is it still active?
Yes, of course. The Labour Party is very active, and we have only one Labour Party, which is under the leadership of Barrister Julius Abure. And this is also evident in, when you check the INEC portal, it's also evident that we have only one leadership under Barrister Julius Abure as National Chairman, and Alhaji Umar Farouk Ibrahim as the National Secretary. And other NWC members. So we are still very active, other than most of these, Nollywood actors, in Labour Party.
You call them Nollywood actors, but some of these people you refer to as Nollywood actors are planning a convention by February 2026. What do you make of this? And could you also let us know who you're referring to? So I'm sure we're on the same page towards Nollywood actors. Do you mean the Nenadi Usman faction?
You see, let me be very, very explicit here. You see, in Nigeria, you have a lot of heavily demystified and defeated orangutan politicians, who even in the face of judgment of Supreme Court, you see them flagrantly attempting, to disobey, the judgment of court, despite Pretoria, of judgments of Supreme Court that said political parties' leadership is not justiciable by any court. It's not justiciable. It happened in Magnus Abbey versus Rotimi Amechi. It happened in Senator Datu Mafara, versus Yari. It happened even in Barrister Cyril, the Afghan leadership. So many like that, the Supreme Court has made pronouncement. But you see, as far as we are concerned in Labour Party, I want to call on the Nigerian Medical Association. I think we have a lot of people who are victims of what we call, phantasmagoria affliction. And they need to take them to hospital for operation so that they can be delivered, of their delusion that they find themselves. I call them Nollywood. And the chairman of that Nollywood is nobody other than Governor Lesoti. I don't know who admitted him, whether it's the Yoruba Theatre or the Igbo Theatre. I don't know who admitted him. If they have admitted him, I think he should just resign as the governor and now go and join them so that, you will continue with our carry. Why do I say that? There is an Attorney General in Abia State who ought to know that Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, and any of their judgments must be obeyed. Now, but when you see people who deliberately chooses to afflict themselves with what we call physiological fantastica, that is an art of lying. They knew they are lying, and yet they want to deceive others to think they are not lying. That is exactly what is happening. The man knew, as Attorney General, that he ought to have advised his boss very well that issue of party leadership is not justiciable. Now, let me go to Electoral Act, because I wouldn't just want them to think, oh, I am talking, not from part. Section 92 of Electoral Act is very clear. They said every registered political party shall give commission at least 21 days, notice of convention for conferences, meeting, convene for purpose of merger, electing member, executive committee, governing body, or nominating candidate for any elective position. That's 82.1. Now, 83 says, 83.1.3 says, Commission may direct inquiries under Section 2, subsection 2 to the chairman or secretary of the political party at the national, state, local government, or area council. Now, let me tell you what Part 2, sub 12.3 of the regulation and guideline for political parties 2022 provide that the national chairman, national secretary of the party shall jointly sign notice of convention, conferences, meeting, and submit same to the to the commission. Please, who is Otti to now go and now be claiming he want to do convention in 2026, February? Knowing fully well that on the annual portal, even if you Google it there, the only person you are going to see is Barrister Julius Abure and Alhaji Farouk Umar as the substantive national chairman and secretary, in line with Part 2, sub 12.3 of the regulation and guideline for political parties 2022. So this is why I said they are a bunch of Nollywood actors, because they knew what they wanted. Today, they themselves formed the Nenadi committee. They themselves dissolved the Nenadi committee, and they form another one. Now, in our Labour Party constitution, which is what I am holding here, it is only the national chairman that can preside over NEC meeting. So, who is Governor Lesotho to say who is presiding over NEC meeting? Who is Nenadi? Who is Daliti Wokocha, or any of those, bunch of comedians in that party? They are just bunch of comedians. It is only Article 14 is very clear that the national chairman shall give leadership to the party, preside over all meetings of the National Convention, National Executive Council, National Committee of the party. So when you have your constitution that in 2015, Justice Mary Odili of the Supreme Court declared that parties must obey their constitution, even before you say you want to obey the constitution of Nigeria, first they say you must obey your constitution. And yet these people claim they are members of Labour Party, and yet you want to disobey our constitution, and you are now doing it as if to say we are talking about the Abia state indigene. For God's sake, this is Federal Bank of Nigeria, this is a political party, and we are not member of the Nollywood, of which the governor is now the chairman, Abia State chapter, and whosoever the secretary, we don't know. But I just want to advise Governor Lesotho, he should stop being a comedian. We are serious people in Labour Party, because I know that he is an ungrateful person to Barrister Julius Abure. I put it to him.
Why do you say so, Mr. Arabambi?
Yes, I said I put it to him. Understand, he cannot correct me on this, because he was at Transcorp. We have an opportunity as at that time to give our ticket to another person. He came to Transcorp. He knelt down. Governor knelt down before Julius Abure to beg him for ticket. They gave him that ticket free of charge.
Mr. Arabambi, are you sure of this statement you are making, that the old governor knelt down?
He came to Transcorp. You have heard Julius Abure said it many times. He came to Transcorp to beg for that ticket before they gave it to him. And now you can see why a lot of political parties have rejected him in the past. So I must give it to SPN then. But I must thank their leadership. I must thank the leadership of PDP. I must thank the leadership of Abga for rejecting Lesotho as their candidate before.
But if I'm being honest,
we never knew him well, and we gave him tickets, and look at what he's doing. And Otti has not contributed one kobo, to this party. I'm coming. Number two, do you realize that his deputy governor was the one that declared the convention? Held in Ninewi, and the Otti deputy governor, all the members of assembly, they were there. It was also part and parcel, only for him to turn around. You see, when a man pontificates on a lofty principle of idea of decency, don't turn around to say that principle is no more realistic and you have to compromise. Governor Otti knew that convention is legitimate, and there is no pre-court cases against that convention. There is no post-court cases against that convention, but because they want to use us to make money, when they are not doing anything to the party, they felt we are just, bunch of political idiots that cannot be swept away so that they will not take over the party. And that's why I said, I will thank the leadership of PDP over the long years. I will thank the leadership of Abga and the leadership of SCN that they refused him 100%. They refused to give him their ticket. That was why he has been a political orphan until when he came to Julius Abure, a Transcorp hotel, where they gave him the form for all the assembly, the senate, the rep, and the governorship. That was when they gave it to him. I am not a baby. This is my 18 years in Labour Party. He cannot come and be telling me history of Labour Party. He cannot. He lacks the capacity.
Mr. Arabambi, we hear you and your arguments against Governor Alex Otti. Citizens of Abia State will feel differently. And from the outside, as those who are watching, the sentiment we get from onlookers, or even those who are part of these, the party in question, is that they're very pleased with the performance of Governor Alex Otti as a governor of Abia State.
A man that abandoned.
If you may please allow me land, Mr. Arabambi, if you may please allow me land, that they're very proud of how Governor Otti has led with vision, direction. Very recently, we talked about how many communities in Abia State he restored electricity to, and there were governors before him who did not perform as well as he has performed. So they've praised him. And quite frankly, when they praise him, it also reflects a commendation of the Labour Party, a party he currently belongs to. What is the Labour Party without Alex Otti?
Well, the Labour Party has already been there. This is also the narrative people pushes out there about Mr. Peter Obi until when he was demystified in all the obstacle election in Nigeria. Governor Alex Otti, as far as I'm concerned, is just a man, who is deceiving the Abians, probably because of their level of education. With due respect, I don't know, or because of the level, of their political understanding of Nigeria. A governor that abandoned government house uses Abia State money to be building his own house. If he know he had the capacity, he should have made his house what it is today, rather than when he was not the governor. You abandoned a government house, and you are now using government money to fund your building. You go and be holding government meetings, spending government money. Who is deceiving who? Is it the street light that this guy uses generator to power? Is that what we are talking about? Or because, he's giving electricity to community, then Julius Abure should just resign for him? Are you getting me?
We're with you. We're with you. We're with you.
Okay.
We're with you. So,
yeah, so because he's giving electricity to them, then Julius Abure should resign and leave before. No, this is not Abia. This is Labour Party of Nigeria, a party that has been established by law and governed by law. We were there before him, and like I said, he knew he has tried it with PDP. He failed woefully. They didn't give him the ticket because they have seen this attribute in him, an attribute of a man who will want to destroy the ladder, that took him up. The PDP, they saw this attribute in him. Even the Ab guy, he had tried to run at many times, so many times.
All right, Mr. Arabambi, it seems your network is a bit shaky. We do have many questions in which we'd like you to answer. One of which is if Labour Party is really, really proud of him. You were trying to answer that, but we didn't get the context. Just to ask again, so what's the issue right now? Julius Abure also has cases in court, if I'm right, and I stand to be corrected. Does that still make him the legitimate person? Are you there?
Yeah, you said who has cases?
I said, true or false, Julius Abure still has cases in courts. Am I right?
No. All the cases have been thrown out. Because Supreme Court, you see, it is the same as Otti who were trying to use a judge in Abia, to shop, for one, Jankara injunction, which the court said, oh, go and put them on notice. Because he knew, the Supreme Court is very clear, especially clear, that issue of party leadership is not justiciable. It is only the party themselves that can effect any change in their leadership. And as far as we are concerned, Julius Abure remained the national chairman of the party. So there is no substantive case against him. It is only the Otti, that is backing Nwokocha, and Peter Obi that is backing Nenadi that have issues now. Because you see, the NLC said, we have dissolved the Nenadi committee. You can imagine building something or nothing. How can a legal, body be dissolving another illegal body when they know they don't have the constitutional power? So there is none, like I said, there is none. If they have any, they can come on here to tell you it is dead on arrival. Because when they file it, the court normally tell them that, look, this matter is not justiciable. And they knew the court would throw it out. So the one they fight, they will go and withdraw. When they fight, they go back to withdraw the matter. When they knew, wanted to join issue with them. Okay. And the only thing we are going to tell the court is that the court lacks jurisdiction, as pronounced by the Supreme Court, to make any pronouncement on party leadership. And that is Supreme Court, except they want to have their own Abia Supreme Court, maybe in Cambodia or in Sabisa Forest. They can go and establish that. But the one established by law in Nigeria has declared that it is not justiciable for any court, to delve into the leadership. But they can go and form their own in Sambisa Forest.
Now, Mr. Arabambi, moving forward, because of the time we have left, just to project into the future, next year is the penultimate year before general election. Many political parties have given notices of their conventions. And is there still room for reconciliation in the Labour Party as we inch towards the 2027 elections? And what would reconciliation look like? Because they say a house divided cannot stand on its own. If the Labour Party is divided in terms of personalities, then how do you want Nigerians to believe that, this is the party that would offer them succor or do their bidding?
Is it unless Otti starts suspended, even as we speak, he has been suspended by neck of our party. And whenever we are going to have a convention, maybe anytime soon, probably because of that, it will be expelled. It is not bigger than the party. For the reconciliation, a lot of reconciliation, re-engineering is going around for us, to be able to perform better in 2020, 7th general election. But not with characters, like Governor Otti, who has a sole aim of destroying, the very, very platform that gave him life. I don't know where he could have been now. I think if he's not the governor, I don't know. I think he should be grateful to Julius Abure and Laji Faru, because there were people that are far more financially stable than him. They came, Julius Abure rejected the offer, and yet they gave it to him, because of the promises he made. And that was why most of us are surprised. So we don't want to advise him. I think he need to seek forgiveness before God and now apologizes to Barrister Julius Abure. He need to apologize to him that, my brother, I am very sorry, I erred, and then we can now consider that to err is human, to forgive is divine. But as it stands presently, the re-engineering is going on. We are preparing, for 2027 election, whether Otti, now chooses to go on a solo journey, we don't know, or whether he will want to just come and do restitution, political restitution in Labour Party. I think that would be better for him, because as far as we are concerned, if he continues in this trajectory, I'm afraid he won't have a platform to contest under Labour Party. He's not going to have that platform.
All right. Mr. Arabambi, thank you for joining us this morning. The Labour Party has, what we are seeing now, it feels like it's almost every political party that has factions, that have strong claims, except the All Progressives Congress. APC.
No, we don't have faction. We don't have faction. If you check INEC website, there is no faction. They didn't put faction there. It is only Julius Abure, national chairman, Abdulaziz Farouk, national secretary. These are the two people signing correspondences in line with INEC guideline for political parties 2022, part 2, sub 12.3. That's why I read it, so that the Attorney General cannot go and read it, because I don't know whether they are even whether most of them are even versed in this electoral matter or in their own constitutional law, with due respect. But we do not have faction in Labour Party. Right. We do not.
All right, Mr. Arabambi, thank you for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central, and wish the Labour Party all the best.